The other thing that I thought about was that you mentioned this when it came to FBA. I tell people all the time, I said, I don't have to pick one side or the other because I descend from both. And so if I cut one part of my ancestry and my existence off, I'm now losing a major part of who I am. I descend from greatness in multiple parts of the world. And if I can tap into the fact that I descended from someone who survived, or multiple people who actually survived crossing that Atlantic Ocean, let me go back to the very first people who came on those boats and they survived some of the most horrific conditions. I descend from a survivor or a group of survivors. So when things get tough and I look at, I'm complaining about what's going on around me, I'll stop and say to myself, I really have no excuse because what they went through, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done as well. But now their sacrifices, those who crossed the Atlantic and then those who built the nation that I was born in, when I think about that, I say to myself, I now have this responsibility to, one, be the bridge for others to help expose their children to it, but not just our children, but our elders. There's so many of our elders who are in their 70s and 80s who've never traveled. They've never had the interest, but now that it's in front of them, they've had a desire. Some of them had the desire, but they didn't know or didn't understand how to get there. But now, by creating these opportunities through B1 voyages, to take people and show them, it's like you watch our elders become children again. So when we talk about our children, many of our elders are still children. They're just grown up now, but they're children. I've watched our elders, the little kids, come back to life. And I went to one lady, I said to her, she was in Egypt, and she was so excited. She was buying the oil, and she was standing there like like a little kid waiting for candy. And I went over to her. I said, you know what? I said, I just saw the little girl come back to life. And she giggled. That's deep when somebody 75 years old start giggling. I said, but it's okay to giggle because this is what this is for. This is not, I tell people all the time, this is an assignment. It's like when we have been given the opportunity and the responsibility or the opportunity to get information, it's up to us to share it because who else is going to do it for us?